What's up, everybody? This is Carl from Technical Goodies, and I have been doing a lot of 3D printing, laser engraving, craft sort of things lately, small projects, and I have all these devices. And I thought to myself that I wanted to create kind of a maker space. One desk that kind of hold all the things that I want to use, like my 3D printers, my laser engravers, and that would allow me to basically have one local place that I could go and sort of work on this stuff without it cluttering up all my other desks. So when Flexispot contacted me and said, hey, you want to try out one of our standing desks and one of our chairs, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to set it up. So they sent me two different things. They sent me their OC6 500-pound big and tall office chair and their Flexispot E6 desk. So starting with the chair, the installation was pretty self-explanatory and pretty standard for chair installations. You just sort of attach the pieces to the base, attach the back, put the casters on, and then put on the wheels and the headrest. The only thing that I had a little bit of problem with because of my big hands was putting the headrest on. The way they have it is a good system. It was just a little fiddly to try to get back behind the headrest in order to be able to hook it on correctly. This is my first time using Flexispot stuff, and I was pretty impressed. The chair is super comfortable. It has a adjustable lumbar support if that's something that you're looking for. It also has the ability to take the bottom part of the seat and slide it forward and back. For someone like me with longer legs, that's really good because I want that under leg support when I'm sitting on the chair and not feeling like I'm going to slide off all the time. The headrest is adjustable so you can get comfortable because the back of it does swing back to about 128 degrees. So if you want to take a break, sit back, relax in your chair, and then bring it forward and get back to work, you can do that. The armrests are nice because they are considered their 4D armrests. It can tilt left and right, and it can go up and down in order to accommodate the way that you want to sit. I like that a lot because in most cases, I tend to sit pretty close to the desk. And if I want to lean back, I don't want my armrests interfering with the desk that I'm sitting at. Now, speaking of the desk that I will be sitting at, like I said, they provided their E6 desk. They let me choose which style it was, so I picked white legs with a bamboo top. I'm a big fan of just the bamboo look in general. And the installation of this was pretty easy. Of course, I had my son do this one for me. So if you can see here, it's actually a pretty straightforward process. You just sort of put the legs together, you put the legs onto the top, screw everything down, and you're good to go. The one thing that we did have a little bit of problem with was that some of the screws that went into the top of the table, they were a little more difficult to line up, but in general, I've put together multiple standing desks, and this was very, very standard for all of them. But there are some unique features about this desk that I want to make sure to cover. I got the 55 by 28 desk size because that's kind of just the standard that I like to go with, but you can get it as small as 48 by 24 inches or as big as 78 inches by 30 inches. So that's a pretty big desk, and it also comes in a whole bunch of different colors that you can choose for your tabletop. Now, when it comes to the desk itself, one of the unique features that I really liked was there's 3-stage legs and independent dual motors. So like I said, I have put together multiple standing desks. I put together this one here, I put together that one back there, and those came with just one single motor with a rod that went underneath and connected both legs together. The great thing about the Flexispot desk, and I was really impressed by the fact that they have dual motors. Each leg is independent from each other, so it allows the desks to be a little bit smoother and lift a lot more weight. Because I'm putting a lot of different tools and a lot of different machines and computers on the desk, I want to make sure that it can go up and down, because sometimes I want to be able to work on a project when I'm standing. Let's say I'm putting together a computer or putting together some sort of device. It's sometimes easier to stand because you can move around. You don't have to worry about sitting down and standing up all the time. And speaking of weight, it can actually lift about 352 pounds. Now, I had my son test this out, and one of the things that we were completely blown away with, and I kind of knew this, but I didn't realize how much of a difference this made, is that the height of this desk goes from about 24 inches off the ground to about 50 inches off the ground when it's adjusted and moved up and down. Now, that doesn't really sort of make sense in your mind, but if you were watching the video here of my son sitting on the desk, rising it up, it just kept going and going and going to the point where he could actually touch the ceiling. And if you see me, I'm 6'6", and I walk over here and this thing is so high compared to me. I was just blown away. I also like the really nice control pad that they have. It lights up because sometimes when we work in the dark or we work in darker environments, it's a little bit different to see these control panels. And if you look here, it actually has 4 different settings. 1 and 2 are actually labeled with a small little icon of people. 1 is standing, 2 is sitting. So when you choose one of those buttons, it'll automatically go to the location that you want to sit. That's pretty standard across the board, but I did like the little control panel that is on there. So after everything was set up, I proceeded to set up my desk. As you can see here, what I was working with previously was just sort of a generic desk. I don't know, it was like $50 that I got on Amazon. And it's just a static desk, but I just absolutely think it's not usable because as a desk, you can sit at it, but it is just sort of static and sort of not able to be utilized for this kind of self-contained maker desk that I wanted to do. I have a Dell all-in-one computer that I like to use, so I went ahead and got a monitor arm for that and set that up on the back of the desk. That way I could raise it up high and get it out of the way of the sort of devices that I have on the desk. I added in my mini laser printer, added in the mini laser engraver, and I added in my larger volume 3D printer on the left side of the desk. So what this allows me to do is to hook these things into the one central computer and then work on things there. If I want to do some modeling, if I wanted to do some 3D printing, I can do that right then and there and control all the devices on one sort of self-contained desk. So if I wanted to, I hit the button and I'm able to basically raise it up to a standing height and work on it that way, or hit another button and bring it back down and have it all set up for my size. Now, one of the things that I really like about these adjustable desks is the fact that, like I said, I'm tall and I don't want my chair all the way down. I want it up a little bit because that gives me the correct posture for my legs and my arms. And then once I get my correct posture sitting in a chair, I can adjust the desk to fit. I don't have to worry about a very specific standard desk height that it's stuck at, nor trying to sort of lift up the desk with some sort of risers. I have that ability to adjust it. So all in all, this was a really great project. I want to thank Flexispot for sending the desk and the chair over. If you're in the market for either of these, I would definitely check them out because they are just a step above. You can go ahead and buy one of those budget desks and you can use it for a while and you'll start to realize that it shakes a little bit. It's not as sturdy as you'd like. It's not as well built as you'd like. So hopefully this helped you out. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe as always. This is Carl from Technical Goodies, and I'm out.